This is Max and Mia Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Max and Mia Podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. How are you doing today, Max?
I'm doing great, thanks. Actually, I had quite a busy morning. I went to the grocery store, then I had to pick up my dry cleaning. You know how it is. Weekend errands.
Oh, I totally understand. I spend most of my Saturday cleaning my apartment. It's amazing how much dust can collect in just 1 week. But hey, now I feel so productive and ready for the new week.
That's awesome. There's nothing like that feeling of a clean, organized space. Speaking of being organized, we want to thank all our amazing listeners for your comments and messages. We really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Your feedback helps us improve every episode. And for our new listeners, welcome to our little English learning community. We're so happy you're here.
So, what are we talking about today, Mia?
Well, today we have some really interesting conversations for you. We're going to explore 2 different situations that happen in everyday life.
That's right. Our first conversation is between a traffic officer and a citizen who got stopped for a traffic violation. We'll hear how they handle this situation professionally and politely.
And our second conversation takes place at a coffee shop where a customer is trying to order their drink, but there's a small problem with their payment method. It's a situation many of us have experienced.
These conversations will help you practice real-life English, especially if you ever find yourself in similar situations. Plus, we'll break down the key vocabulary and expressions afterward.
Exactly. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's conversations. Are you ready, Max?
I'm ready. Let's get started.
Before we listen to our first conversation, let's go over some key vocabulary that will help you understand everything better.
Vocabulary preview.
The first word is violation. A violation is when someone breaks a rule or law. For example, speeding is a common traffic violation. You're not following the speed limit rules.
Great explanation, Max. I'd add that violation can also mean not respecting an agreement or standard. Here's my example. Parking in a no parking zone is a violation that can result in a fine.
Perfect explanation, Mia. Now tell me, what's the next word?
My word is license. A license is an official document that gives you permission to do something, like drive a car. For example, you need a valid driver's license to operate a vehicle legally.
Exactly. And I think of license as your official proof that you've met certain requirements. My example would be, the police officer asked to see my license and registration during the traffic stop.
That was a good example. What's the next word, Max?
The third word is registration. Registration refers to the official documents that prove you own a vehicle and it's legally allowed on the road. For example, make sure your car registration is up to date, or you might get a ticket.
Good one. Registration basically shows that your vehicle is officially recorded with the government. Here's my example. I keep my registration papers in the glove compartment of my car.
Great example. What's next, Mia?
I'll go with patrol. To patrol means to move around an area regularly to watch for trouble or make sure everything is secure. For example, officers patrol the streets to maintain order and safety.
That's right. Patrol is like doing rounds or keeping watch over a place. My example. The security guard patrols the parking lot every hour during his shift. And our final word is cooperate. To cooperate means to work together with someone or to be helpful when someone asks you to do something. For example, it's important to cooperate with police officers during a traffic stop.
Absolutely. Cooperate means being willing to assist and not creating issues. Here's my example. When the officer asked for my documents, I tried to cooperate by handing them over calmly and without delay.
Perfect. Now that we've covered these important words, Let's listen to our first conversation.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Officer Martinez with the City Traffic Patrol. I pulled you over because you were exceeding the speed limit back there. Could you please turn off your engine and keep your hands visible?
Oh, good afternoon, officer. Sure, no problem. I'm sorry, I honestly didn't realize I was going that fast. Is everything okay?
I appreciate your cooperation. I clocked you doing 45 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. That's quite a bit over the limit. May I see your driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance, please?
Of course, let me grab those for you. Here's my license. And my registration should be right here. Oh, and my insurance card. I hope everything's in order.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, I see your license is valid, but I notice your registration expired last month. Were you aware of this?
Wait, really? Oh no, I had no idea. I thought I renewed it. I've been so busy with work lately, I must have completely forgotten. Is that a serious problem?
Well, driving with expired registration is another violation, unfortunately. It's important to keep these documents current. Have you received any renewal notices in the mail?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think I might have seen something, but I probably just set it aside and forgot about it. I've been traveling a lot for my job and my mail has been piling up. That's no excuse, though.
I understand life gets hectic, but vehicle registration is really important for safety and legal reasons. It helps us track vehicle ownership and ensures cars meet safety standards.
Absolutely, you're completely right. I feel terrible about this. What happens now? Am I going to get arrested or anything?
No, you're not under arrest. However, I do need to issue you citations for both the speeding and the expired registration. The good news is these are both fixable violations.
Citations? Okay, I guess I deserve that. What exactly does that mean and what do I need to do?
You'll receive 2 tickets. One for exceeding the speed limit by 15 miles per hour, and another for the expired registration. For the registration ticket, if you renew it within 30 days and show proof to the court, they might dismiss that charge.
That's actually not as bad as I thought. So I just need to go renew my registration right away and then take the proof to court?
Exactly. You can renew online, by mail, or visit the DMV in person. Once you have the new registration, take it to the courthouse address that will be printed on your ticket.
Got it. And what about the speeding ticket? Is there anything I can do about that one?
You have several options with the speeding citation. You can pay the fine, which admits guilt, or you can contest it in court if you believe you weren't speeding. You can also sometimes take a defensive driving course to reduce the penalty.
A defensive driving course? That actually sounds like a good idea. I clearly need to be more careful and attentive while driving.
That's a mature attitude, Mr. Thompson. Those courses not only help with tickets, but also make you a safer driver overall. They cover things like hazard awareness and proper following distances.
How long do I have to decide what to do about these tickets?
You have 30 days from today's date to respond. All the information will be printed clearly on each citation, including payment instructions and court dates if you choose to contest them.
Okay, that gives me some time to figure things out. Officer Martinez, I really appreciate how professional and patient you've been. I was honestly pretty nervous when I saw your lights behind me.
I'm glad I could help clarify everything for you. Most people get anxious during traffic stops. That's completely normal. The important thing is that you remained calm and cooperative throughout this whole process.
Well, I figured being respectful and honest was the best approach. Getting angry or argumentative wouldn't help anyone, right?
You're absolutely correct. Cooperation makes these situations much smoother and safer for everyone involved. Now, I'm going to go write up these citations. Please stay in your vehicle until I return.
Will do, officer. Take your time.
Here are your citations, Mr. Thompson. Drive safely and remember to check that registration renewal date.
Thank you, officer. I'll take care of both of these right away. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, sir. Remember, slow down and stay safe out there.
Wow, that was a really well-handled traffic stop. What did you think about that conversation, Mia?
I was impressed by how polite and professional both people were. Jake could have gotten defensive or angry, but instead he stayed calm and took responsibility for his mistakes.
Exactly. And Officer Martinez was firm but fair. He explained everything clearly without being intimidating. Did you notice how Jake used phrases like, "I honestly didn't realize," and "I feel terrible about this"? Those show he's taking ownership of the situation.
That's a great point. Taking responsibility is so important in these situations. I also loved how the officer explained the consequences step by step. He didn't just say, "You're getting tickets." He explained what Jake could do next.
Right. He gave Jake options, like taking a defensive driving course or contesting the ticket in court. That's really helpful information. And notice how Jake asked clarifying questions? What exactly does that mean? And how long do I have to decide? Those are smart questions to ask.
Absolutely. Asking questions shows you're engaged and want to understand the process. I think our listeners can learn from Jake's approach. Even when you're in trouble, being respectful and cooperative works in your favor.
And did you catch how Officer Martinez acknowledged Jake's good attitude? He said, "That's a mature attitude, Mr. Thompson. It shows that officers appreciate when people are reasonable and polite."
Yes, it's like a positive feedback loop. When you're respectful, the other person is more likely to be helpful and patient with you. Jake even thanked the officer for being professional, which was a nice touch.
One thing I found interesting was how the officer explained why registration matters, for safety and legal reasons. He didn't just say, "It's the law," but actually explained the purpose behind it.
That's so true. Education is often more effective than just giving orders. And Jake seemed genuinely interested in understanding, not just getting out of trouble. He even said the defensive driving course sounded like a good idea.
Exactly. He saw it as an opportunity to improve, not just a punishment. That kind of mindset can really help in difficult situations. What other useful phrases did you notice?
Well, Officer Martinez used, "I appreciate your cooperation" early on, which set a positive tone. And Jake used, "That's no excuse though," when explaining his situation. He wasn't trying to avoid responsibility.
Good observation. The officer also used softening language like "unfortunately" when delivering bad news about the second violation. It makes the information easier to accept.
And I noticed how they both used "please" and "thank you" throughout the conversation. It might seem small, but politeness really matters in tense situations like this.
Absolutely. This conversation is a perfect example of how good communication can turn a stressful situation into a learning experience. Both people left feeling respected.
Now let's move on to our second conversation. But first, let's review some vocabulary that will help you understand what's happening.
Vocabulary preview.
My first word is decline. When we talk about payments, decline means that your card or payment method is rejected or not accepted. For example, my credit card was declined at the store, so I had to use cash instead.
Perfect explanation. I'd also say that decline can happen for various reasons like insufficient funds or technical problems. Here's my example. The payment system declined her card 3 times before she realized her wallet was demagnetized.
Great point. Okay, Mia, what's your word?
I'll go with transaction. A transaction is the process of buying or selling something, especially when money changes hands. For example, the transaction was completed successfully after I entered my PIN number.
Exactly. I think of a transaction as any exchange of money for goods or services. My example would be, I always keep my transaction receipts in case I need to return something later.
Smart habit. Your turn again, Max.
The third word is alternative. An alternative is another option or different way to do something when your first choice doesn't work. For example, when the ATM was broken, I had to find an alternative way to get cash.
Good one. Alternative basically means a backup plan or substitute solution. Here's my example. The barista offered me an alternative drink when they ran out of my usual order.
Nice. What's next, Mia?
I'll choose balance. In terms of money, balance refers to the amount of money you have available in your account or on your card. For example, I need to check my account balance before making this purchase.
That's right. Balance is essentially how much money you currently have to spend. My example, my prepaid card balance was too low to cover the coffee, so I had to add more money. And our final word is resolve. To resolve means to solve a problem or find a solution to a difficult situation. For example, the manager helped us resolve the payment issue quickly and efficiently.
Absolutely. Resolve is about fixing or settling something that's causing trouble. Here's my example. It took a few minutes to resolve the technical glitch with the card reader.
Perfect. With these words in mind, let's listen to our second conversation at the coffee shop.
Hi there, welcome to Bean and Brew. What can I get started for you today?
Hey, good morning. I'd love a large caramel macchiato with an extra shot of espresso, please. And could you make that with oat milk instead of regular milk?
Absolutely. 1 large caramel macchiato with an extra shot and oat milk. Anything else I can add to your order today? Maybe a pastry or breakfast sandwich.
You know what? That blueberry muffin in the display case looks amazing. I'll take one of those too, please.
Great choice. Those are fresh from this morning. So that's 1 large caramel macchiato with extra espresso and oat milk, plus 1 blueberry muffin. Your total comes to $8.75. How would you like to pay today?
I'll use my debit card, thanks. This place smells incredible, by the way. I can't believe I've never been here before.
Thank you so much. We really pride ourselves on our coffee quality. It looks like your card was declined. Would you like to try running it again?
Declined? That's weird. I just used it at the grocery store this morning without any problems. Yeah, let's try it one more time.
Sure thing. I'm sorry, but it's still being declined. Sometimes the card readers can be a bit finicky, especially early in the morning.
This is so embarrassing. I'm positive I have enough money in my account. I checked my balance on my phone just yesterday. Could it be a problem with your machine?
It's possible. These things happen more often than you would think. Don't worry about it at all. We'll figure this out together. Do you have another card you could try, or maybe a different payment method?
Let me check. Well, I have my credit card, but I try to avoid using that for small purchases. Oh, wait, I think I have some cash. I've got $7. That's not quite enough, is it?
You're just $1.75 short. No problem. Do you have a smartphone? We take mobile payments like Apple Pay or Google Pay. That might be easier than using your physical card.
Oh, that's a great idea. I completely forgot about Apple Pay. I set it up months ago, but never really use it. Let me give that a shot.
Perfect. Just hold your phone near this reader when you're ready. It should prompt you for your fingerprint or face recognition.
Here goes nothing. Oh, cool. It's asking for my fingerprint now. Did that work?
Let's see. Yes, transaction approved. That's so much better. Sometimes the mobile payments work when the physical cards don't. It's like they use different processing systems or something.
Wow, technology is amazing. I had no idea it could be that simple. I'm definitely going to start using Apple Pay more often. Thanks for being so patient with me through all this.
Of course, that's what we're here for. Payment issues happen to everyone. You handled it really well. A lot of people get frustrated and take it out on us, but you stayed calm and worked with me to find a solution.
Well, getting angry wouldn't have solved anything, right? Plus, it's clearly not your fault that my card wasn't working. These technical glitches are just part of modern life, I guess.
Exactly. I really appreciate that attitude. Now let me get your macchiato started. The espresso machine is already warmed up, so it shouldn't take too long.
Sounds perfect. While you're making that, can I ask you something? What would have happened if none of my payment methods had worked? Do you have a policy for situations like that?
That's actually a good question. Usually, we try to work with customers to find alternatives. Sometimes people can call a friend or family member to bring cash, or they can step outside and use the ATM next door. In rare cases, our manager might let regular customers pay us back later.
That's really accommodating. Most places would probably just say no payment, no coffee, and send you on your way.
We try to be understanding. Coffee is pretty important to people, especially in the morning. Plus, building good relationships with our customers is more valuable than being strict about every little payment hiccup.
I can see why this place has such good reviews online. The customer service is outstanding.
Here's your caramel macchiato with that extra shot and oat milk, and your blueberry muffin. Everything should be perfectly prepared.
This looks and smells incredible. Thank you so much for your help today, Sarah. You turned what could have been a really stressful situation into a pleasant experience.
You're so welcome, Tyler. I hope you enjoy everything, and please don't hesitate to come back soon. Next time, you'll be a mobile payment pro.
I'll definitely be back. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thanks for choosing Bean and Brew.
What a refreshing conversation. I loved how both Sarah and Tyler handled that payment situation. What stood out to you, Max?
I was really impressed by Sarah's problem-solving approach. Instead of just saying, "Sorry, your card doesn't work," she immediately started offering alternatives. She suggested trying again, then asked about other payment methods, and finally recommended Apple Pay.
Exactly. She was like a customer service detective, working through different solutions step by step. And Tyler's reaction was so mature, too. He could have gotten embarrassed or frustrated, but instead he stayed positive and collaborative.
That's such a good point. Did you notice how Tyler said, "This is so embarrassing," but then immediately worked with Sarah to fix the problem? He didn't let his embarrassment turn into anger or blame.
Yes, and I loved how he acknowledged that getting angry wouldn't solve anything. That's such valuable wisdom for our listeners. Staying calm in frustrating situations usually leads to better outcomes.
Absolutely. Sarah also did something really smart. She normalized the situation by saying, "These things happen more often than you'd think." That probably made Tyler feel less embarrassed and more comfortable.
That's excellent customer service psychology. By making it seem normal and common, she reduced Tyler's stress. I also noticed how she said, "We'll figure this out together." That teamwork language is so effective.
Great observation. Instead of making it Tyler's problem to solve alone, she made it their shared challenge. And when Tyler asked about the store's policies for payment issues, Sarah was very transparent and informative.
I thought that part was fascinating. Tyler showed great curiosity by asking, "What would have happened if?" That's the kind of question that shows you're thinking ahead and learning from the experience.
Exactly. And Sarah's answer revealed how customer-focused their business is. She mentioned calling friends, using the ATM next door, or even letting regular customers pay later. That's incredibly accommodating.
It really shows how good businesses prioritize relationships over rigid rules. Did you catch Tyler's comment about online reviews? He connected Sarah's great service to their positive reputation.
Yes, that's so smart. He recognized that excellent customer service directly impacts a business's success. It shows he understands the bigger picture, not just his own immediate problem.
And I loved the ending where Sarah called him a mobile payment pro for next time. She turned his learning experience into something positive and confidence building.
That's such a nice touch. She made him feel accomplished rather than technologically challenged. The whole conversation showed how patience and creativity can transform a potential disaster into a positive interaction.
Absolutely. This conversation teaches our listeners that most problems have multiple solutions. You just need to stay calm and be willing to try different approaches. Tyler could have given up after his card was declined, but instead, he explored other options.
And both people showed genuine appreciation for each other. Tyler thanked Sarah multiple times, and Sarah complimented Tyler on staying calm. That mutual respect made the whole interaction pleasant, despite the initial problem.
It's an excellent example of how clear communication and encouraging attitudes can turn everyday challenges into chances for connection and learning.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Max and Mia podcast. We hope today's conversations gave you some useful insights into handling real-life situations in English.
Absolutely. Whether you're dealing with a traffic stop or a payment issue at a coffee shop, remember that staying calm, being polite, and working together to find solutions will always serve you well.
And don't forget, practicing these kinds of conversations before you need them in real life can make all the difference. The vocabulary and phrases we covered today will definitely come in handy.
Speaking of practice, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been in similar situations? How did you handle them? Leave us a comment below and share your experiences with our community.
That's right. And if you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other English learners discover our content. Your support means the world to us.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We release fresh content every week with new conversations, vocabulary, and practical English tips.
We're always working on new topics and situations that you've requested, so keep those suggestions coming. Is there a particular scenario you'd like us to cover? Let us know in the comments.
And remember, learning English is a journey, not a destination. Every conversation you have, every mistake you make, and every new word you learn is progress. Be patient with yourself and keep practicing.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun with English.
Thanks for spending time with us today, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode of Max and Mia podcast.
Take care, and remember, English opens doors to amazing opportunities.
Bye for now.